What's good, everyone? It's Oscar here. Welcome back to GeoGuessr Explained. This is a channel where I basically run through all the different rounds that I have in 2Seeds and explain exactly how I'm able to get so close. Or if we make some big mistakes, then we learn together. That's pretty much how it works. You can play the links for today's games and tomorrow's games in the description. And Merry Christmas Eve. I hope you guys are going well. So let's check out what we got on the first round today, which looks to be somewhere in Russia. Now, when I see a round that's as dead as this, with like these thin trees that are completely dead, I would kind of think of this city up here, Vorkuta. I think so. Then looking to like actually determine that we're in Russia here, we have all white number plates. We have houses on stilts, which means it should be somewhere very far north. That's also something I associate with kind of the permafrost zone, over like near Yakutsk and stuff like that. So I guess we could still be in that area, but I think with these kind of dead trees everywhere, it really makes sense for us to be where I clicked. So I think that's where I'm going to go. We could easily get the 5k here, but I'm kind of in a rush today, so let's just guess, see if I'm correct, and we were. Yeah, so that's a good one to know the town for sure. But yeah, that one has winter coverage and dead trees everywhere. It's pretty distinctive, I would say. Okay, next one here. We are once again in Russia, so a really interesting start to the seed here. We've got the red car, which is found in certain regions of the country, most commonly kind of in this region here, like in the center, so that's good to know. Trees definitely feel like they could be in that kind of area, so I think I might click there. Just trying to think here. We do have quite a lot of Scud spines. I can see this being closer to Moscow as well. It shouldn't be all the way East Russia, though. Is there anything else to say here? Not too much. I think this is just kind of a vibe guess. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's too far north. Like these do feel quite Siberian, I guess, but not entirely. So yeah, I would probably just go like it's not Omsk. It could be like Tomsk though. I don't mind Tomsk here, but yeah, I can easily see Chumen or something like that as well, or even further. I'm going to go Tomsk here, let's see. And it was actually all the way, even further east there, so not too bad. On the way to Irkutsk, yeah. And I think there's a little bit in like Irkutsk or Ulan-Ude as well, but that's about as far east as it goes in terms of the red car. Okay, next one is going to be somewhere in Australia. We've got all white roadlines here, double whites in the center. That's very Australian, and these bollards with the grey and the blue and the red reflectors. And we got wooden poles as well. Now I'm trying to work out whether what type of poles these are, which state we should be in here, because there's plenty to look at in Australia. I would say these big milk carton letterboxes are very common in North New South Wales and Queensland. This is my meta. Not really sure if we're going to be there this time, but it seems to work pretty well, generally speaking. We have like a bit of like an underhang on this pole, which reminds me of Victorian poles. So maybe, ooh, this pole reminds me of Australian Capital Territory, which is interesting, like a kind of Uruguayan trident. So I'm kind of confused here. I've got different mixed messages for where this should be. And I don't see any pole that actually helps me all the way out here. So I may be making a wrong guess here. Okay, this one looks quite New South Wales. It's like concrete with the dots near the top, kind of like a Cambodian pole or something like that. That feels quite New South Wales. So I think I will go North New South Wales here overall. But it is a difficult round. I could definitely say that. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I could get the state wrong here. This does look like a Victorian pole, but yeah, I just have to trust this pole more, I think. And then looking in the distance, I can definitely see it. I mean, it could be Tasmania still. I could not rule it out, but yeah, I want to go like Tamworth area. Let's see it. Okay, it was just a Mudgee area, so it's not too bad. Not an easy round though, I will say that. Okay, next one here. We're back in Russia. No way. This is a big country's bonanza. I'm looking forward to seeing the scores on this. Anyway, this is quite sandy, so Yakutsk Surgut kind of area makes sense here. Like, so we have Black Karlong antenna, then this whole area over here has a lot of that sandy soil next to the road. I would say that, yeah, and also like a lot of power poles. I've heard that's kind of like a good meta for that kind of area as well. Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It certainly can be up there. I don't really see anything that like screams that area, because I still think it could be like something way further west or something. But yeah, I think you basically should go so good when you see this much soil. So I'll just go maybe even this one here. I don't know. I'm just gonna go there. We'll see. Okay, was a bit further south there, but not too bad of a region guess. So I feel like things are still going pretty well. To have 16k here, almost 17, that's not too bad. And the last one here is certainly not as difficult, but not too easy either. Although I think I can make out the end of a Finnish street sign here. TIE is the word for road in Finnish. And then a yellow filled in sign with red architecture should mean that you're in Sweden or Finland, by the way. And then we have quite a few birches and this kind of dreary coverage with a blue like highway sign. I think that Finland fits pretty well here. Now we do have like a lot of red houses. So I do want to kind of click further over this direction towards Sweden. I think that's a decent meta. But apart from that, and it does maybe feel a bit further north, so I might even go like this kind of direction here. But yeah, I don't really know. This is not an easy round, so let's see where it actually ends up being. And it was just in that region, so nice. Did we actually come out near the top here? The other guy, the guy with the blue profile picture, there had some really good guesses because that was a triple Russia seed. So we actually end up in 4th there, and it seems like a lot of people played. This time we actually took the dub against Debray, which is good because I don't often get to beat Debray, but we don't have to scroll too far down here for some lower scores. I think I'll just hit the show more button once or twice here. By the way, give the video a like if you're enjoying. Going a bit quicker tonight just because I'm about to head out. But okay, let's check out the two 12Kers here. We got Georepla and BMS. So on the very far north Russia round, we had a Caucasus guess. I don't hate that. The winter coverage that you get around here is normally in Generation 4, not Generation 3. This is a bit of Generation 3 winter coverage. So yeah, when you see those very like skinty trees, then that makes sense. Magadan's not even a bad guess either. Like, we did have those stilts for the permafrost. That would be like typical of like Yakutsk area, but yeah, you just kind of have to know this city, I think. Then we have this Tomsk guess. I can definitely see Moscow area. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I was considering it myself, but yeah, I just think the red car is more common in this area, generally speaking, and all the way north as well. The Finland, we had one really good guess, and then a Norway guess. The Norway guess, in Generation 3, you wouldn't see an antenna on the car, which I'm pretty sure we did see an antenna there. You always would in Finland, so yeah, that's probably the best tip for that. Apart from that, we had solid outside lines on the road. You can see that in Norway, but then you'd normally have that accompanied with yellow long dashes in the middle. So yeah, it's kind of knowing those conventions really helps. And then the Australia, we had a Queensland, New South Wales border guess, which is good. The Tasmania guess is also not silly. So yeah, I could just say like, you kind of have to have a good knowledge of poles for that round to make a lot of sense. But I would say it looked a bit more tropical, and that's why I really thought Tasmania was kind of out of the picture. So yeah, that was a fun first seed, definitely difficult. The people who said it would be difficult were not lying. But yeah, 21.3 there is a pretty good result. Okay, next one is region guessing. Let's get straight into it here, and we have more Russia for the day. We have the red car again here with that red blur. We have a place name there, so that's kind of interesting. It's definitely winterish, but we do have some green on some of the trees here. So if you do see some greenery, I think that kind of like spring coverage around Samara and Voronezh is kind of common. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking here at this stage. We have kind of typical Russian stuff. The black bottom of the pole here, very, very Russian. This pedestrian crossing sign, very Russian as well. I don't know, feeling like Samara kind of area does make sense here with like a little bit of green, but mostly dead. I'll try it out, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's just because we have like a bunch of evergreens that I'm confused here, and it is just going to be all the way south. But architecturally speaking, we don't see any houses that scream south, like with like white brick or anything, so I feel good. And it was just, yeah, kind of like in this kind of central area there, so 4.2, and not a bad start. Okay. Next one here, we are looking at what here? We have a red car again with this kind of a warning light, but this one doesn't feel like Russia at all. It is Generation 4, so it definitely like reduces the amount of places it can be. I say I exactly know where this is, so let's try and figure it out. We got like a concrete pole there, maybe. Okay, we do have yellow center lines here, so I think Colombia is most likely at this stage. Yeah, with this kind of terraced farming, that would also make sense. Although these poles are very thin, so I am also thinking maybe even of oh, it's also driving left. So I'm actually thinking of Indonesia. I was thinking that before I realized it was left-hand drive, but these thin poles are very Asian looking as opposed to Latin American. So where in... I would say most likely on around like this would be like kind of inland Borneo, because it kind of does look like Malaysian Borneo, but Malaysian Borneo at this stage in time does not have Generation 4 yet, so we can't really be there. Yeah, so I feel like that's actually correct. Can this be anything else? I don't really think so. I think we're correct here, but I'm not exactly sure how close we're going to be. It could still be Sulawesi or something like that. And it was actually Sula, so that makes sense, but hey, not too bad. Again, the country there is still good because it's a fairly difficult round. Next one here, we got blue license plates here. And we have an American flag, so that definitely helps. The license plates are short, so we already knew, like, basically it should probably be North America anyway, especially because it's a GMC truck. Country line, what does that say there? The News Tribune, interesting. Some local newspaper knowledge on around like this might be useful. Anyway, the forest kind of feels very West Coast to me. I don't know what it is about this combination of trees, although this tree kind of feels more East Coast. The rest of them, like, these ones kind of feel more West Coast to me. So I was thinking, with the blue number plate like that, and the American flag, probably Washington or Oregon. We're not really close enough to see, but I feel like it looks more like a Washington plate, if I had to say. Because Oregon plates have like a bit of like green in the middle where a tree is. Um, I don't really think we see that. We could kind of click border here. But, alternatively, I could definitely see like it still could be Connecticut, which has blue plates. That's well possible, and some of these other plates have like fairly blue as well. So, yeah, I can see that, but I am leaning West Coast here, and I think I will go in Portland? Vancouver. Let's go Vancouver. Let's click halfway. Let's go in Olympia, Washington. Yeah, I feel like it's a good guess. Anything else to say? Like, it is fairly flat. You would expect to see some hills, but you do have flat kind of areas, so that makes sense. And, yeah, I don't know. Still can be over there. So let's just hope my vibes with these kind of evergreen trees everywhere and that kind of thing is working. And it was nice. We're actually just in Tacoma there, so we actually jump into second there. We probably had one of the best guesses there, so that's good. All right, next one here. We are looking at some Brazilian action here. Blue car. We know it's Brazil because we have this concrete pole which is divided into three and this very red soil. That combination should 99% put you in Brazil, really. I kind of thought, I must say, that we were maybe... So, possibilities here. Very red soil. Could see like Mato Grosso do Sul kind of area. Amazonas seems possible here. I kind of like that because we're on a dirt road and we're going like this direction, which is very kind of there. And yeah, okay. I think I will guess there. As I said, have to head out in a minute, so let's just go for the guess. And it was just in Sao Paulo there, which kind of makes sense. We're still in third after a terrible guess there. So, and the last one here, I think I probably could have figured that out, but I was, I have to go out. So, a lot of like short trees, Generation 2 camera here, really old, and the double yellows should put us in like Alaska, Yukon kind of area with the Generation 2 cam, the circular bar at the bottom. I think that antenna might be more common in Canada as well, and I just like this for Canada a lot because of the kind of like rolling big hills. So I'm kind of thinking like Stewart Crossing kind of area here. Road angle does kind of fit even, so I'm not even feeling too bad about that. Let's just kind of go here and hope for the best here. And yeah, we're pretty close actually, so that's a good result. 17,000 on what was a very difficult seed. Brazil, I don't really think we could have bossed this seed and gotten 20k there, but we kind of missed out on that one. A really nice game from the top guy there, so well played to you. And then Debray just behind us. Yeah, well done to everyone who played, and I would love to give some extra tips here, but I have to go out now. So Merry Christmas to you all, however you're celebrating, and yeah, see you guys in a video very soon. Till next time, goodbye.